there's going to be a problem if this thing rings off. And yeah, less than 2 minutes later, guess what? It rung off. Boy, we've got a major problem. This is Saturday afternoon. I am cutting these good soybeans, these 60 to 70 bushel soybeans. I got started about 12 o'clock today, and I was really gonna really make it happen today in this field on this farm because there's a chance of rain tomorrow. So I was just gonna go at it hard and get her done. Plans, don't make them because they're made to be broken. This is the problem we have here. Oh boy. So on the feeder house here, this is the area where the grain leaves the header, comes up through here and then hits the cylinder. Well, this feeder house stopped turning midway down through the field. Don't know if you can see it here, but this feeder house shaft, there's a shaft that runs all the way across here with 3 sprockets on it that turn that drag chain to bring that crop into the cylinder. Sprocket here, sprocket here, sprocket there. Well, it appears the shaft is broken on this end. It looks like it broke right up there where the bearing is. This is not a real easy fix. What it entails, let me crawl back out of here. This is the drag chain that spins around, pulls this crop into the combine. Well, in order to get to that shaft, this entire feeder house unit has to come off. It's not a real difficult job. It takes some time, and it's a little bit awkward because the darn thing is, I don't know, 1,000 pounds or so. We've got to disconnect the cylinder arms here from the feeder house shaft. Hydraulic hoses here. And then there's a, let me take this off of here. And then there's 2 bolts here on either side, top and bottom, that you back out of here, pull this block off of here, and then this whole feeder house assembly will slide away. Actually, you'll just back the combine away from it. So yeah, I'm gonna need a front end. I'm 10 miles from home. It would take me about 45 minutes to take this down to the shop. I think I can do this in the field. I can just bring my front end loader up here or the skid steer in order to help pick this up and maneuver it. It's going to be a 2-person job, so I will call in a recruit. Yeah, so it's just a matter of jumping into this and making it happen. I've done this before. About 6 years ago, I actually changed the bearings on either side of this, put new bearings in. So I've taken the feeder house off before to replace the bearings in it. But that was not in the middle of the season. That was in the downtime. Okay, I've got to figure out the tools that I need and go get what I need and then come back here and start working on this. Oh boy, fun times. Okay, I think I've got everything disconnected here. These 2 hydraulic lines, the electrical wire here, This cable is for the Feederhouse reverser, so I've got that disconnected down here. The parking brake, that's the issue. I don't remember. I know I did not disconnect it down at the brake drums. I'm hoping it's going to slip through there once we pull this block out, and it gives us a little more room to slip that through. And then on this side, the electrical wire for the Feederhouse speed. 3 hydraulic hoses over here, but these two I had to reconnect because they just wanted to keep dripping, so I've got to get a cap or something to put on there, but they're ready to go. So now all I have to do, oh, I see a wrench I left up there. All I've got to do is get some blocks. I guess I'm going to put some blocks across here, drop this down on the blocks, bring the skid steer loader up here, and somehow chain it. I don't remember how we did this the last time. Yeah, well, somehow there's a way to chain this and bring the skid steer in here and hold it, and then take these bolts out on either side, pull that block out, and then we can back the combine away from the Feederhouse. It'll just stay in place. I've got the 2 pins down here, but I can't get those off until I drop this down on the blocks. Okay, I think that will have it. And then it's determining what I'm doing inside, if that shaft can be welded or if I just have to buy a new shaft. We'll see, but that's to be determined. First we got to get this Feederhouse the rest of the way off of the machine. Okay, got the skid steer on, but it's just a little after 4, and those clouds have already rolled in. The wind has stopped blowing, so I don't think I would have cut many more soybeans. I doubt this will get it off, but let's try it. No. All right, I need a little more oomph, so I will wait for help. All right, we really don't know what we're doing here this morning, but we're trying to do something. We've got everything unbolted. We've one of the bolts here on the right hand side we stripped off. So Damn it. Okay, we got that issue solved. We were supposed to leave those hoses connected in order for everything not to leak. And he's looks like maybe this plan worked. All right, now we're going to block it up so we can set this down on there. Those blocks are not the same height, so you'll need some other ones. And they got to be up on that main frame. Well, that didn't work out so much.
Oh yeah.
Wet ground. Up some more?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Outside's all right. Down a little bit.
All right, let's get an update on what's going on here. Jeffrey and his father came up this morning to give me a hand. I never think to turn the camera on when I've got other people here helping me because their time is valuable. So I just want to get them out of here as soon as possible because they have other things to do. Here's how this feeder house is held on. This block sits in there, goes up against there, and the feeder house bracket goes right in there. Well, I think you saw yesterday in the video, this bolt I couldn't get out. Well, Jeffrey's a whole lot stronger than I am. And finally, the two of us together, well, I didn't do much but hold the socket. This finally rung off about 2 minutes before I said something to him about, man, there's going to be a problem if this thing rings off. And yeah, less than 2 minutes later, guess what? It rung off. So yeah, we've got to somehow get that out of there. That's going to be fun. All right. The other mistake we made, and I think you saw in the video when we started the combine up to back this out, oil started coming right out of these hoses. Well, that's when I remembered those hoses were supposed to stay attached to the machine the last time we had this feeder house off. That's what we did. I think there's a whole process in the owner's manual about how to remove this feeder house. I had done it before, so I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. So no big deal. We lost some oil, reattached these hoses up here. As you saw, we were backing the machine out when things had slipped around a little bit. I had these 4x4s on the ground here, a 2x4 in front, because I knew this thing was going to slip ahead on those 2x4. So I screwed on the 4x4, so I screwed a 2x4 in front so it wouldn't slip. Well, we still got slippage, and that thing kind of twisted around. As you can see, it's not lined up with the combine anymore. No big deal. Nobody got hurt. All was good. All right, we've got this blocked up now. I have taken the feeder house chain out of here. This is actually what happened. This shaft had a clean break, so this goes inside of there, and the end of the shaft has a clean break. Now we see some rust on here, so we're wondering if maybe it had been broken a while. And I don't know if you can see, hold on, see how this is rounded here on the end. This cup is completely worn out now. Maybe you can see on this end how this cup goes completely up to that sprocket, and that's to prevent any wrapping from taking place on that shaft. Well, this cup is completely worn out now. We're thinking because this is rounded, maybe the cup itself was holding it a while until finally it just wore the cup out. And I don't know if that's a broken piece. I'm not sure about that. If that part is broken, it probably had to be notched maybe to get this shaft back in there. I don't know. Okay, but so yeah, we're not sure if that's the reason it's rusted, because the cup was holding it for a while before it finally gave out and got in there. And that's what jammed this up. When this sprocket moved forward, everything was just binding and jamming in here, so it did not move one way or the other. That could probably be welded, but I think my best option is just to get a new bar to go in there. So these sprockets will come off. That shouldn't be a problem. A couple of hex screws here, slide the sprockets off. I'll have to get a new cup here and replace this. 3 bolts will take that out of there. As I had said earlier, we did have this thing off, I don't know, I'd have to go back and check my records, 5 or 6 years ago, and I believe that was to change these bearings in here. So I thought maybe this bearing had seized up and that's what had broken the end of the shaft, but no, I'm able to turn that bearing there, so that did not seize up. That wasn't an issue, just worn out machine, I guess. So yeah, we had this pulled apart. I'll check the bearings in it again, maybe get new bearings. Definitely a new sprocket here because it broke this tooth out, but I may as well replace all of the sprockets while I'm at it. Bearings, that hub, this chain, and I'll check the bearings in the drum down on the front as well while we have it this far. So it's going to be a couple of days here and probably $2,000 or $3,000 worth of parts. Yep. Okay, but that's not a big deal. This is what has me concerned here. But Jeffrey's gonna bring a welder back up this week. We're gonna weld a nut onto this. We'll heat this block up here. I'm gonna spray it with some PB Blaster as well, and then hopefully we can yank that out of there. We'll see. Okay, it's a cloudy morning. Did I already say it's Sunday morning? That's when Jeffrey was available. When I called him yesterday evening, he just didn't have time to come help me. So I had most everything complete by the time he got here to pull off. It was only one other thing we had to do. Oh, I had a belt on the other side I had forgotten about. So he was here about an hour to pull this off, so that wasn't too bad. As I said, had most of it ready. Yeah, it's a cloudy day, chance of rain today into tonight, so can't do anything anyway. I'll get my parts manual out, put a list of parts together, so tomorrow morning I can call my dealer and find out what the availability is on these parts. Okay, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna clean up my mess, get the tools put away, and so I can go back to my office Sunday mornings or my bookwork mornings, catch up on the bill paying and go through the mail and all that good stuff. I'll try to do some video editing today as well. So I'm gonna say see ya. As I was cleaning up, I kind of noticed this. This is the bar we were using to put pressure to get this bolt off when this other one snapped out of here. But we had a breaker bar, 3/4 inch drive with these 3 bars on there. You see the bend on that bar. We had a lot of pressure going on. Well, it took a lot in order to wring that size bolt off, but yeah, that's the power of Jeffrey.